It is 1 in the afternoon, and the sun has vanished. You are standing in the middle of the wealthiest resort city in the Roman Empire, but you can't see your own hands. The sky isn't just dark, it is falling. Rocks the size of golf balls are raining down, shattering clay tiles and breaking bones. The ground heaves, your lungs burn with the sharp, toxic smell of sulfur. You are gripping your child's hand. You have a choice to make, right now in the pitch black. Do you run into the blinding terror of the streets, or do you lock your doors and pray to gods who have clearly abandoned you? Imagine waking up in a paradise where the word volcano literally does not exist. That was Pompeii in the year 79 AD. To the people living there, the massive green mountain looming over their city was just that, a mountain. It was a place where wild grapes grew, a beautiful, silent backdrop for the wealthy elite of Rome to build their luxury vacation villas. They had no idea they were living on a ticking bomb. But on this specific afternoon, the mountain didn't just erupt, it unzipped the earth. Let's follow a mother. We'll call her Julia. Her morning was completely ordinary. She was buying fresh bread from the local bakery, haggling over the price of olive oil, just living her life. But then a deafening crack echoes across the bay. It is louder than any thunder ever recorded. People stop dead in their tracks. They look up. What they see defies human comprehension. A pillar of fire and smoke shoots 20 miles straight up into the stratosphere. An eyewitness at the time described it as looking like a massive, terrifying pine tree made of boiling earth and lightning. At first, the people of Pompeii don't run, they watch. Human curiosity is a fatal flaw. But within an hour, the fascination turns to absolute horror. The sky turns the color of a bruised plum, then completely black. The pumice begins to fall. Millions of tons of porous, jagged volcanic rock begin burying the streets, inch by inch. Pause for a second and imagine that. You are in your home. It's early afternoon, but you have to light oil lamps just to see the faces of your terrified family. The roof above you starts to groan. The weight of the rocks piling up on the clay tiles is getting heavier by the second. Dust is filtering through the ceiling, coating everything in a fine, choking gray powder. This is the exact moment Julia has to make the most impossible decision of her life. The streets outside are a death trap of falling debris and stampeding panicked crowds. Staying inside feels safer. It feels secure. The walls of her home are thick stone. Most of her neighbors are hiding under their beds or locking themselves in the innermost rooms of their villas, waiting for the nightmare to pass. But Julia looks at the bowing roof. She looks at her child, and she runs. History tells us exactly what happened next, and it is entirely based on the terrifying forensic evidence left behind. The streets of Pompeii had become an obstacle course in the dark. As Julia runs, she's wading through pumice that is already knee-deep. It is like trying to run through deep snow, but the snow is heavy, sharp rock. She has to tie a pillow to her head with torn linen just to keep from getting knocked unconscious by the falling debris. We know this happened because archaeologists have found skeletons clutching the remnants of those exact improvised helmets. She pushes toward the city gates. She is heading toward the water, toward any hope of escape. But something else is coming. Something much, much worse than the falling rocks. Here is the terrifying historical twist. For centuries, people believed the victims of Pompeii simply suffocated under the ash. They didn't. Around midnight, the towering eruption column miles above the volcano loses its upward momentum. It collapses. Millions of tons of superheated gas and volcanic matter begin racing down the side of the mountain at hundreds of miles per hour. This is called a pyroclastic surge. It is a hurricane of fire. The people who decided to stay inside, the ones hiding in their supposedly safe homes, they were not buried alive. When the first major surge hit the city, the air temperature spiked to over 900 degrees Fahrenheit in a fraction of a second. It was so incredibly hot that it instantly boiled the fluid inside their bodies. Their brains exploded from the sudden steam pressure. They died in less than a heartbeat, their bodies instantly flash-fried and preserved in the exact positions of their final microsecond of life. But Julia isn't there, because she took the terrifying risk to abandon her home and run into the unknown. She and her child are already miles away, stumbling through the pitch-black countryside. They are choking on ash, terrified and exhausted to their bones, but they are out of the immediate blast radius. We know people survived this exact way because modern historians have tracked the specific family names of Pompeii refugees. They appeared in the tax records of neighboring Roman cities in the years following the eruption. They lived to tell the tale. When you look at the famous plaster casts of Pompeii today, you aren't just looking at ancient history. You are looking at the brutal consequences of a single split-second human decision. Stay or run. Trust the walls of your home or trust your primal instincts. The story of Pompeii isn't just about a mountain exploding. It is a terrifying reminder of how quickly the world we trust can turn against us, and the impossible lengths a mother will go when the sky literally starts falling.